friends. Okay, good luck to both of you.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode, Cobra Kai Season 3 predictions. Man, I am super excited. Just excited to talk about Season 3 and all the things, all the possibilities that could happen in Season 3. So today, guess who we're talking about? Yep, you guessed it. It's gonna be Robby. So Robby. What the heck is gonna happen with Robby? So let's check it out. So just so you guys know, I'm kind of shooting with a different camera today. I was really disappointed with how the last video just looked. I think my other camera, HD camera, is having some problems because just the quality I was not happy with, but whatever. I still posted it, right? So, but hey, before we jump all the way into it, if you're new to this channel, I appreciate you guys finding me the first time. For all you guys that have been following me with Cobra Kai reaction videos, thanks for tuning in for another episode, and thank you guys for helping us reach that 1,000 subscribers. We're on to 1,100 and 2,000 and whatever, however far we could go, right? But thank you so much for all the support, and hit that bell, man, because I'm gonna try to put out as many as I can over the next probably 2 weeks. So we'll just kind of go from character to character, and we'll get to like the big one soon. But I want to kind of talk about Robby, guys. So let me just start with something first. Robby, I love this character, and I'm gonna tell you, I've said it in all the episodes, anything that has to do with Robby, I've kind of mentioned this, but his character, a lot of people initially look at him like he's a bad guy, he's a tough guy, and I think sometimes we forget what environment has been created for him, man. I mean, come on, let's be honest. This kid has no guidance, but in his heart, he wants to do right, but look, let's be honest, he has no guidance. He's been left to stay in a situation where he literally has to defend himself. He has to find his own food. He has to do whatever it takes. Why? Because his mom's not there, man. His mom's trying to do her own thing, and she doesn't want to be a parent. So that sucks, man. Anybody that's left in that situation, what are you gonna do? You gotta eat, you gotta survive, and honestly, sometimes stuff happens. And so when you go back to, I think it was Season 1, Episode 4, I don't know, the one that he's in the shop where he steals the laptop. That just kind of shows you, some things that he has had to do to survive. He's had to steal, he's had to, sell stuff, he's had to be around the wrong crowd trying to figure out how to basically survive, right? And because of that, he's had to make hard choices. Now, the good thing about Robby is that he was fortunate enough to find Daniel. Find Daniel. And I want to remind you one more thing. If you remember that scene where, I don't know, the cousin or something of Daniel tells him to start the car.
Whoa, what the hell's the matter with you? Starting a car in a crowded showroom? What are you, out of your mind? Hey, whoa, he's up.
And Daniel gets all mad at him, screams at him, and he lifts his fist to him out in the parking lot and all that stuff. Those are all indicators of what he's capable and the potential to do harm or to do whatever it takes to protect himself. I'm gonna tie this in, I promise, but just keep that in the back of your mind. I'm gonna tie this back in. But even in those scenes, he's been given a chance. And so what I love about Robby is he is trying to walk the straight path. He's trying to get his life together. He's been fortunate enough to have somebody that cares enough about him to not let him, Daniel and his family recognize the environment he's in is not good for him. So of course they pull him out of it, and that's what they do. They rescue him from it. Unfortunately, all these events have led to this collision. Sorry, I don't know, my light's like blinking or something, but it's led to this collision with, in the high school with Miguel, right? And I want you to remember back in those moments, man, like he was trying to be peacemaker. And I want to remind you of something first before I get too deep into it. who struck first. Check it out. I'm going to show you this clip real quick. Tell me who struck first. Check it out.
I'm sure we can figure this out.
Hey man, we gotta do something.
Good idea. I'm gonna get a teacher.
All right, so we know Miguel struck first. I'm gonna put that out there because when it comes to the legal stuff down the road, and we're gonna talk about this, who struck first, who was defending themselves, and of course, what was excessive. But at the beginning, who was defending himself? And it was Robby. And Robby continuously just tried to like keep the peace, stop it from happening, and even stop, you know, just all of this madness that was happening. Ultimately, he needed to defend himself, and so that's what happened. And you know, unfortunately, in that scene where Miguel's ready to let him go, all that anger, all that frustration, remember the life that this young man has lived. Remember that. All came boiling to the surface at one moment. One moment it came. And his action knocked Miguel off the balcony, which we all know he's severely injured. We don't know what to extent, but we know that he's severely injured. And at that moment where he's on the banister, what does he do? He runs. So let's go. Now let's go into the predictions, right? So that's my kind of perception of what's happened to him. In some respects, he's a victim too of what happened, but ultimately he made the final decision to, you know, kick him off the balcony accidentally, but he still chose his action to kick him, right? You know, I truly believe that he is gonna go on the run. And just think about it. Think about everything that's gone on in his life. Think of the situation. Think of the struggle. By nature, he is going to run from the law. And I don't think it's going to be the whole season, but I can see a couple of episodes where he's just on the run, trying to survive right now, trying to stay away from the law, even though I'm sure they just want to question him. But he's using his instincts, and his whole instincts are to do whatever it takes to survive. So just walking into a police station right off the bat and say, hey, I did this, I don't think that's going to happen to him simply because of his past, simply because of what he's done his whole life, and I just think it's a little unrealistic. Now, let's talk about what's going to happen with him. So like I mentioned in the last video, I think this season is going to be over the span of a few months. You know, it's not going to be like, you know, a whole year worth of stuff they're trying to cram into 10 episodes. I think it's going to be over the next couple months. So I think as this is evolving and, you know, Mcdowell's hospital, and I'm pretty sure it's going to shift towards, you know, pressing charges or searching for him to press charges. The only people that can possibly reach him, the only two people I believe that could possibly reach him is Daniel and Johnny. And right now, it's probably more Johnny, quite honestly, because remember the last couple of scenes, Johnny was there for him and backed his play. Daniel dismissed him because of stuff with Sam and then all this fight. So I think Daniel's gonna disregard him, but I also believe that he is still a key factor that can bring him back to ultimately be responsible for what happened. Now let's talk about the charges. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna throw it out there into the universe. I don't think they're gonna press charges on him. I think as, you know, Miguel gains consciousness and all this other stuff, at some point he's gonna be reasonable to say that he threw the first punch, that he started this, and it led to this. So there's some responsibility that Miguel also happens. Now, his mom, Carmen, not going to be happy about that. But I think there's going to be some type of resolution, either in season 3 or maybe I'm going to season 4, where, you know, the charges will be dropped. He's going to be put on probation and things like that. And he's going to have to start over. And it's like, where do you go from there? Where do you go from trying to redeem yourself to, you know, being, you know, painted as a villain in all of this stuff? And it's going to be unfortunate for him. I think he's going to have a lot of personal issues and challenges that he's already had. Remember, he's already had these things. And I I could see him struggling to regain focus, struggling. And then where do you go from that, right? Karate's been what has grounded him. Karate's been given him the focus to rebuild his life. And where does he go now? Cobra Kai, MIYAGI-Do is probably in the toilet right now, you know, because of all this stuff. So where do you go from there? And I think that's what his character is going to go through, is searching to find the next chapter in his life to figure out how to regain balance. And we all know it's karate, but how? How is he going to use karate? What dojo? Who knows? I think that's going to be part of his character's journey, is just searching for those answers in season 3. So tell me what you think, you guys. I know it's kind of, you know, up in the air, but I really truly love this character. I love what he stands for. I see, you know, I go for the underdogs, guys. I've always loved the underdogs. I've always loved the characters that are dealing with inner struggle, probably because I feel like that in my own personal life, where you're dealing with inner struggle and you're trying to right the ship. And he is one of the characters that, you know, I'm rooting for him, just like Johnny. And if you look at it, there's some parallels into what's happening to them, stuff that Johnny's gone through, and now these types of things. There's some real parallels that are happening. And I love both these characters because they've both been dealt some pretty tough cards, and life has beaten them up, and they're still trying to find some sense of balance and some sense of redemption in their lives. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I appreciate it. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to send it out, guys. Share it, all that good stuff. And then on one last note, guys, you know, I want you guys to check out my other channel too. I've had this other channel, David Rubalcava Vlog, for a long time. I've had it for a couple years, and it is more of like leadership development. I had this way before the family channel, and it was mostly a podcast, and you know, on Apple Podcasts and all that kind of stuff. And so just check it out. You know, if you guys are looking for more stuff from me, I can only produce so much content, but I've been producing this podcast for the last 2 years, and we're coming close to the 100th episode. Yes, the 100th episode. But I just haven't been promoting it very well on YouTube. But check it out, and if you like it, I appreciate that. Subscribe, and you know, thank you for all your support. Thank you guys so much. I'm looking forward to the next characters that we could talk about. Please leave all your comments, man. I love your comments that you guys leave in there with great ideas and great perspectives on what you think is going to happen. So I love this community. I love you guys. Stay tuned for the next episode, and we'll see you then. Talk to you soon.